Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? So recently, an event happened in Japan called Anitsuku that targets people who are interested in becoming a part of the anime industry, on a production team, or just interested in the technology and techniques behind anime production. And a very interesting topic was presented at the conference titled, "Should all anime be CG?" I know a lot of you are probably looking at the screen right now yelling something along the lines of,
"Oh, hell no!"
But let's just hear what they have to say about 3D CG. So basically, for those of you unfamiliar with what we're talking about here, 3D CG is a form of art that uses computer graphics to create visuals on the screen rather than the traditional animations drawn by hand. CG usage has grown a lot over the recent years, and we're starting to see a trend of fully CG anime series like Ajin or Knights of Sidonia become widely accepted. Pretty much every anime series produced these days uses CG in some form or another, so there's really no escaping it. At the event, they went over a few key points about why CG is the future of animation, presented by 3 companies that currently use 3D CG in their production line. Companies that have made God Eater, Shingeki no Bahamut, Tiger and Bunny, Ghost in the Shell Arise Alternative Architecture, just to name a few. There are 2 big factors that CG animation has over hand-drawn anime. The number one biggest difference between the two, they believe, is that there is no movement for CG. And by movement, they meant literally having to physically move stuff around. During the production process, there's a saying that pretty much means the more moving parts in the machine, the higher chance of something screwing up. Basically, the more people you have on a team, the more likely it is for an accident to occur. With anime produced by CG, there is no physical collection of drawings, hence no movement required, which apparently saves a ton of headaches. The number 2 biggest factor that CG has over hand-drawn animation are the accumulation of assets. What are assets though? Basically, how 3D animation works is that you first model a character in 3D, which can take quite a bit of time, but after you have the model finished, you can animate it however you want. The best part about it is, you can reuse that model. So say you created a model for a cat in anime A. In anime B, you can reuse the same cat model, change its skin to something else, or just leave it the same. And all the animations are already there ready for you to plug into anime B with very little work. You can make 3D models out of pretty much anything like buildings, rooms, furniture, clothes, accessories, people, animals, pretty much all inanimate or animate objects. Put simply, when using assets, things that took a lot of time to draw can be made in mere seconds. Now sure, it saves a lot of time, but in the end, if it doesn't look good or acceptable to the audience, then it's no good. With CG, it is possible to create images that could not previously be made in anime. One really good example I want to mention would be the recent release of Blame. The use of 3D CG in that movie is the most brilliant display of blending anime with new 3D CG techniques I've ever seen. Many people used to hate 3D usage in anime in the past, myself included, simply because it didn't blend very well into that style of hand-drawn art. But I think we are getting to the point where 3D can be used quite a bit while still retaining that stylized anime look. And the third point they made was that in the case of hand-drawn animation teams, companies usually contracts a bunch of people for the production, and after that, those guys are gone. For 3D CG, there's a department in the company where there are dedicated computers, and the production is done by using the same team. The same team will accumulate skills over time, and the quality tends to improve as the team gets more experience. But there are drawbacks for CG, and the main one is time. CG takes more time to make. Although it's probably easier and cheaper in the end for the company to make an anime in CG, there's no doubt that a talented person can draw up an episode in half the time it takes for it to be completed in CG. But all in all, the main point they wanted to make was that 3D CG will continue to change the industry by bringing more static animation teams to companies, which means more stable jobs, and utilizing assets from past works to bring animation to the next level. Some of you may be thinking recycling sounds like a bad thing. But that doesn't mean we're gonna see the exact same things in different anime. In Western movies where we see a ton of 3D stuff, even though a lot of the things are recycled, we don't really notice them because shapes are changed, skins are changed, the way the lighting is different. So many factors can change how it looks in 3D. So think of it more as a base object being recycled rather than the finished product. So that's it, the current state of 3D CG used in anime. What do you think of it? Do you like what you've been seeing recently in anime? As usual, let me know down in the comments below. Thumbs up the video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for Tokyosaurus for the latest things people are talking about in Japan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.